Hello and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I am your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today I'm trying not to go into a food coma.
Stay away from the light.
I'm trying. Jesus.
Do you have any carbs?
Oh yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
First time in probably a month. I had a good amount of carbs.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What is that?
Yoga toes.
Yoga toes.
Yes.
That sounds like a snack that you would get at the
What the frou-frou Whole Foods joint?
I was thinking more along the lines of the pre-panini moviegoer.
Oh, well.
The candy rack.
Oh, well, now all that is at...
Yoga toes.
Yeah, well, now all that is like at Whole Foods and Earth Fare and shit. No,
That
it's
is
just...
too funny.
Yeah, it is. No, it's just, yoga... Okay. Yoga toes help prevent, like, bunions and, I'm sure you've seen where feet just... Their toes are kind of, like, sideways in their shoe.
Yes.
Yeah, it helps prevent dumb shit like that.
It's not as... Well, in my experience... I have cared for people that had that issue, but
yeah.
Not as many as... I guess it would depend on the part of the country. It might be tribe related. I'm not really sure. There is
there is a hereditary element to it, but
yeah.
Regardless, it's not something you really, really want. So.
Oh, of course not.
So these just kind of help encourage that not to happen.
Yeah, just imagine someone who they're talking to you like they're Bob Ross.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big green trees. And within a matter
this little tree needs a friend. Everybody needs a friend.
Everybody needs a friend.
That man was awesome.
And then, yes, he was.
So was his kid.
And his story is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It all goes back to find the thing that you enjoy to do and do it.
Yeah, and just do it.
And just do it.
That's what he did.
Just jump out the airplane. You think you don't have a parachute on, but yes, you're wearing a parachute. Jump out the airplane. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. And they're talking to you like they're Bob Ross. Within a matter of minutes, they're gonna drug you up or drug you down. Actually, and then take out a hammer and a chisel and start working on that foot.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty picture.
It's not fun.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but the other half of the conversation is for the past 2.5 months, I've been working at this under a trainer. I don't know if I mentioned it on the show. I've been working with
casually. You have.
Yeah, I've been working with a trainer, and the past month and a half ish, he's had me, now eating 5 times a day. Because most bodybuilders do that.
They do.
It's not great big meals most of the time. Just 5 times a day. Eat every 3 hours of daytime.
Correct. Keep stoking the fire.
You just keep stoking the fire, essentially. So, what initially he had me do was I went from 4 meals to 5 meals. And I could only have carbs on 2 of those meals.
Do you get to pick?
No, it was the first meal of the day and then the third meal. So 2nd, 4th, and 5th, all protein.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's not like the one that you and I were doing where it's like protein, carb day, protein, carb, protein, carb, and...
Oh, yeah, well,
that was extreme.
It was, and it'll peel the weight off of you.
Yeah, may or may not...
Peel it off.
Yeah, you have to be very, very disciplined because based on the readings I'm involved in now, you have to be very disciplined because otherwise that's a recipe for binge eating there.
Well, if you understand up front that when you begin this diet, now I wouldn't really call it an extreme diet. I've been on some extreme diets. I don't think it's an extreme diet. But you have to understand going in, for the first 2 weeks, you're going to feel like crap.
You're going to feel like you want to kill somebody.
you're gonna feel like you've been hit by a flu school bus. For about your first 2 weeks.
You're gonna be angry all the time.
And then it'll average off. And then you'll feel pretty clear-headed and clear-minded, and the weight will just fall off.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Exactly.
But you just have to withstand that
first 2 weeks.
That rehab shock.
Yeah.
Where you've been eating a certain way. I feel sorry for people because I have spent years. I grew up an overweight kid, and in the 1970s was treated as such, and it was a cruel experience. So diet and that sort of thing is something that has interested me my entire adult life.
Yep.
But
because why wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you don't realize what you're putting in your body, and it's not. I mean, look how. I mean, we have always eaten pretty clean.
Yeah, and then I get involved with this trainer because and there were points where you and I, for the most part, cut out sugar, minimize sodium. I mean, you gotta have a little bit of sodium.
Well, you don't realize that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's so much of it in the any kind of processed food.
Cut out fat. Or no, we had like minimum fat, no
really
sugar, and then I get involved in the training, and it's like, oh, you can't have a lot of sodium. And we started looking through all the stuff that we have in our kitchen cabinet and fridge.
Yeah.
And it had all the sodium.
And then
and the only
thing, I mean, we would, and you don't realize how, we would sodium up. We would have, honestly and truly, I did get a little carried away on the seventh day meals.
Yeah.
Or the first day meals, whatever.
Whatever.
With a pound of bacon and a pound of sausage and that sort.
To be fair, that was back when there was like 4 people living here.
True, that's back when there were 4 people living here, but there wasn't.
But all the leftovers you could want.
Yeah.
I miss pancakes.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't realize, I'm thinking 1 day a week.
Yeah, 1 day.
1 day. But, we've cut that out since.
Just eating shrimp and grits, really.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if it's not worse. But I think it's better. I mean, I use a little bit of the fresh sausage as a base for it. Yeah, fresh sausage, the shrimp, and the grits. You
but
don't
everything
put any
else,
salt.
I don't put any salt.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
I really never did, but I don't now.
Yeah, I mean, it really wouldn't matter anyway because
you have to spice up.
Yeah, spice it up, sure, but as far as salt goes, it really doesn't matter because the matriarch's going to add her own portion of salt anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, just make it as you. Yeah. Make it as it needs to be made, and if somebody else wants to,
that's kind of how cooking should be, I guess. I don't know.
I think so. But, no. There's so much salt in food.
Everything.
Foods today it's a preservative.
Yeah. No, I know it's because it's a preservative.
And it's a natural preservative. I mean, it is.
And it holds all your water.
It can have a big impact on your health. Mm-hmm. Blood pressure. Those sorts of things.
Makes a lot of sense now, doesn't it?
Yeah. And what's cool now is since we've been in this extremely low salt mode for a couple of months.
Yeah.
You do eat something that has salt, man, it just punches you right.
Yeah, it does.
I ate something from the Mickey Danks the other day, and
Mickey D's.
Mickey Dinks. The House of Mouse.
Yeah.
But no. It was so salty. It was, I mean, I used to love it.
Yeah.
But now it's like, ooh.
Yeah, like, I had some of their fries. You saw me grabbing some fries from the matriarch.
And that's just a natural response.
Yes.
I mean, I remember when those things, I'm going to tell you something.
Before that lawsuit.
Mickey D's fries from my generation were so awesome, it just make you want to hit somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
Exactly.
I can remember sitting down and ordering 4 supersized orders of these things and just have this mound. I mean, absolute total sitting in their building at the booth, man, on one of the trays with the little piece of paper on top of the tray, and just staring down at this huge mountain of Mickey D's fries. Oh, they were fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then there was that
shame.
And then there was that lawsuit, which it was the dumbest thing I had ever seen.
I submit that the change in the recipe, although bending to the will of the 1%, versus the 99% that didn't have a problem with it. I defy anybody to submit to me numbers proving that the change in recipe actually saved human lives.
Exactly.
I just, you know what? I just don't believe. I mean, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Well, I mean, they could have.
Wasn't it something like, I don't want to say which religion it was, but it was definitely a religion where they couldn't eat their cows.
That's correct. It definitely, and I'm pretty, I doubt, and I defy anybody else to prove to me that the individual that was involved in the lawsuit was actually a blood member of the religion that doesn't eat cows.
Yeah. I don't know what the details were, but basically a person who was a member of the religion where they don't eat their cows.
I think it was more of an association, because I think they were from this country and here in North America.
No, I get it. I'm just trying to sleuth this whole puzzle together. So you either by association or you actually do belong to the religion where they don't eat their cows.
Right.
Which, that's fine.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I get it. Everybody's got their thing. That's cool. And you go into a fast food restaurant where their specialty is the burger, which is a beef-related product. And you think you're safe by ordering, I'll just get the fries. There's no beef because it's not made with beef. You dumb son of a bitch. That's
very cool.
That's like going to I don't know, like that's like going to I will actually name drop these guys because they're actually pretty good, because I'm in a business to where I know. That's like going to a Longhorns and ordering, hey, can I get like a completely vegan salad? Like just vegetables and leaves and tofu or whatever.
A punk trying to spoil everybody's fun.
Yeah, that has to be the answer, because this dude sued McDonald's because apparently the old recipe, your generation, they used some sort of beef related flavoring thing. I don't know what the schematics of this particular piece of ingredient was, but it was definitely a beef related product.
Yes.
And this person somehow not only knew that it was beef, even though they're not supposed to consume beef, but they sued McDonald's and said, hey, this actually has beef in it, and there was nowhere that said that there was beef. Knock that shit off. And then they took it out. You stupid son of a bitch.
Actually, where's my tinfoil hat?
It's in the kitchen. I was using it to make a potato.
I have...
Turn your phone off.
What? This thing's doing...
Tell Area 51 I said go fuck themselves. I wish they actually raided the compound. Oh god, I wish they actually did raid that damn thing.
Yeah.
I was like, we're gonna take out an entire generation of kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying
folks out of the gene pool.
Indeed. They freaking Naruto ran past like armed MPs And I'm like,
it didn't get a lot of press, but there was.
Oh, it did. It got just enough.
It got just enough.
Yeah, the anticipation was better than the actual event, which of course, but you know, whatever. Anyway, you were saying about a tinfoil hat.
Oh.
About the beef flavor.
All right.
Whatever.
The problem, what the issue was with McDonald's was that for them to admit, they would they were being basically sued to provide proprietary information on a quote-unquote secret recipe, which obviously there are more than a number of people, more than just a couple of people that believe and have written as such, is that everybody, when you think about McDonald's, you think about hamburgers.
But it used to be their fries.
But that's correct. There are those, and I see the value of this opinion that that franchise was built on their fry recipe.
It was good.
Oh, it was. Anyway,
I vaguely remember it.
And so part of the as this conspiracy theory goes,
they wanted them to basically release their secret recipe. So other people could make their patents.
So we see, once again, we are given the honorable narrative that says, hey, this person is against a big corporation because it produced something that said was vegetarian, and he's vegetarian. But there was also
it's a Trojan horse.
It's a Trojan horse. There was also an element in there that was from their corporate backing. I don't know whether that type of corporate espionage was arranged from the beginning or they got on board after the train started rolling. But either way, there was some corporate espionage involved. I have read that were their motive was on this guy's belief system. We want the recipe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense based on the fact that why didn't anyone go, well, you seriously expected a vegetarian option at a fast food joint? Go fuck yourself, Phil.
Well, I mean, either way, here's the whole thing, okay, yes, they operate these fryers with vegetable, quote-unquote, vegetable oil. I'm not saying that there's any way around that. I don't know. I've been a fry cook.
You've been a short order cook.
Yeah, when the stray cats in the neighborhood attack your jeans and your shoes when you get out of your car after a shift, you know you work in a restaurant that has a fry line.
Because that's some good.
That's some stuff, man. But they had to know. I mean, if we're going to get right down to it, they had to know that if they thought in other words, the grease that cooked these fries had to contain elements of animal material. Yeah. Well, I think that's a fair statement.
Sure.
Based on other objects that had been cooked in that same vat.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you fry bacon and you collect the grease for another item.
And if you're against, I mean, and let's take a look. I mean, I don't even know the individual that was involved in the whole thing, obviously. They weren't interested enough because that wasn't the issue. That's the whole thing. Everybody wants this person's rights were trampled on. You don't even know their name.
Yeah, exactly.
You just have an issue with the process, and there's a whole lot of that going on today.
Yeah, this guy was apparently ahead of the time in terms of cancel culture, I guess.
So, you know, it was just, so they,
bullshit.
They were just more involved in the process than the person. Indeed. And I see a lot of that going on. And then it gets covered and prettied up and it's painted over.
Yeah, it's just a big Trojan horse for all that stuff.
It's crazy.
I mean, think about it. This whole, the hyper extreme cancel culture where it's like, oh, hey, they said something like 12 years ago on Twitter that back then it made people laugh, but nowadays it makes people mad. I'm just like, dude.
Honestly, I don't think they care.
What the hell?
I don't think these people are passionate at all.
No, they're not, because they're basically just going after who. I mean, think about it. They're just going after people they've been told to go after. I
want you to think about the close-knit groups that you have had issues with, or anybody's had issues with in your entire life. Groups of kids you went to school with, groups of teachers you interacted with.
Yeah.
Across the aisle from maybe a small collection of family in a church. Mm-hmm. PTA meeting, it really doesn't matter.
Whatever.
But now, because, all these squeaky wheels that everybody had the opportunity to just ignore a generation ago.
Yeah. Now you can't.
Now you can't. No.
Yeah, instead of these wheels getting the grease, most people are just trying to break them off the machine. Regardless.
Well, it's kind of like, honestly, it's misplaced, and I'm gonna tell you why, because it really doesn't matter. What you see is, you think these corporations, House of Mouse, for example.
Yeah.
Catering to a particular defined demographic.
Yeah. That doesn't even watch their stuff.
That's
exactly what's happening with comic books. I can actually explain comic books way better.
Yeah.
You're just pandering to an audience that doesn't care, and yet they're not buying your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you're forgetting your core audience.
Yeah, you're forgetting your core audience. Like, they're buying you. They're not even buying your stuff. That's the thing that I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
It's like, they're making a bunch of racket, but hey, guess what? They're not putting their money up. I don't know. Maybe the only thing that maybe the only thing that I can think of is maybe it has to be something like, if they make a big enough racket, it'll turn the actual customers away. And I can see the logic in that, but at the same time, it's like, they're not buying your stuff.
Yeah, well, they think they're tapping it. Well, it kind of
not only that, but if you cater to the people who are not buying your stuff, you're going to isolate the people who were buying your stuff, and hey, guess what? You don't make money.
Well, I mean, I guess they've done some kind of cost analysis. I think it makes sense that there's a certain percentage of your core audience that may not frequent you as much, but will stay involved.
It's not worth it.
It's kind of it's kind of why everything is rolling towards China right now, because China is the next biggest emerging market, and so is India. But you don't see anybody talking about India,
which is weird.
Which is really weird. Okay.
Like, we still have this perception of India as being still a third world country.
Yeah, right. People running around barefooted, waiting for a tiger to come out of the grass and take them down.
Exactly. Which I'm not saying that it isn't the case.
It's a big part, but the infrastructure that they're establishing, I don't know who has done a better job, either the Chinese or India, establishing that infrastructure. But once they can hammer it down,
they'll hammer it down. Well, I guess.
And you'll be seeing prime trucks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
All over China.
Yeah.
And India.
The whole thing is, I would much rather have the emerging market be the quote-unquote new emerging market. I would rather it be in India versus China. And it's not just because yes, there is some bias there, obviously.
Sure.
But here's the thing. India's got Bollywood.
Yeah. India.
You can't beat that.
Well,
I want more Bollywood.
India does have a tendency not to take itself too seriously.
No, that's the beauty of it. They really
That's
don't.
A very interesting observation of the cultural aspect of this whole economic situation.
Yeah. Because the thing with China, be it, the whole, communist thing, and to re-education
Bad
camps.
hair. No, I'm
yeah.
kidding. I don't care.
There's even a meme going around where the leader of this country has a very peculiar likeness to a certain red-shirted yellow bear, and that's a meme. And this guy is aware of it, and he hates it. If
talking about, wait a minute.
Yes.
Which country?
China.
A yellow bear
with a red shirt.
With a red shirt.
Eats a lot of honey. Him.
What do you mean red? Yellow bear? Is he yellow?
Yes.
Okay.
Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
People have compared.
Yeah, he's yellow.
People have compared. I don't know if it's that, but people have compared Winnie the Pooh to the leader of China, to the point where this guy hates any reference to Winnie the Pooh.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
Like a couple years ago, there was a movie about, it was like Christopher Robin as an adult or something.
I remember.
That movie did not even get released in China because of the meme.
Oh, it's been going on that long.
Oh, it's been going on for several years. There have been several companies and institutions that have been disassembled.
I'm gonna tell you something. His
association
with that image or that meme is more of a positive thing for him than a negative, because people don't take him seriously because it's just a playful play story.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. And I'm not saying he's a villain. I don't know. The press says he's a villain.
I'm pretty.
Our culture compared to what he's involved in, we're going to see him as a villain. How else would we see him?
We would see anybody as a villain that differs that much. But I'm not defending the guy, and I'm not trying to be against him per se.
Because I don't know him.
Yeah, we don't know him.
All I know is what is broadcast by the media today. And
which you can't trust anyway.
You can only trust at max 50% of that.
Yeah, at max.
At max. And they've done that to themselves.
Exactly. So it's not that we can't be all solidified against a common enemy. It's just you guys have spent, the media spent so long squandering themselves and making themselves look like a bunch of jackasses for the last, 10-ish years.
10-ish years.
Yeah, but definitely before Cheeto Man's reign.
Oh, long before him.
Long before him.
Long.
So that doesn't have to do with the Cheeto Man.
No.
But they've been making
themselves... They just exposed it.
Yeah, exactly.
On a level that you just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't ignore it.
Can't ignore it, yeah.
So they basically squandered their entire authenticity.
I think so.
And you can't trust a word they say. They could say that a war broke out somewhere in between Russia and Poland.
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe a word they said. I would believe...
And maybe that's what they're striving for.
Why would you do that?
Because
complete dishonesty.
Well, it doesn't take
and untrustworthiness.
It doesn't take qualified, creative people now, does it?
Not really.
Not really.
Not
just
anymore.
Make stuff up and throw it out there.
Yeah, honestly.
The first incident. I'd always heard from probably the mid '70s on. Being in the company of ministers and evangelists and missionaries and folks like that talking about don't trust the media.
Yeah, back in the 70s.
Back in the 70s where an evangelist that I knew said, hey, they'll tell the people on the East Coast one thing and they'll tell the people on the West Coast something completely different.
And they do.
Because we
did that.
Yeah, we did that. We lived on both coasts and we know. No.
Honestly, the actual source of news I get anymore, and it's not the BBC, it's not Fox or CNN or any of those places. It's fucking Reddit. That example I put of a war breaking out between Russia and Poland, if the media covered it, I wouldn't believe it. I'd just be like, what the fuck is Russia doing with Poland? But if I see it on the front page of Reddit,
really,
I know it's real.
Because enough people are talking about it.
Exactly. That is what has happened. You can't trust the mainstream media, so now you gotta trust strangers on the internet.
Yeah,
Do you see how fucked up that is?
That is pretty fucked up.
Yeah. The fact that you can't get reliable information from institutions that uphold themselves to try to bring you good information.
Yeah, that's the word on their building.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you gotta you gotta put your faith and trust in a complete stranger that you don't even know their real name from across the network.
No.
And I don't mean that purely in just the news either. I've had to do it for my skincare routine.
Sure.
Going on YouTube, watching other people talk about, okay, you have oily skin. You got to try this and this and this. Don't touch your face. Don't pop your pimples. And it's like, oh, hey, I want to learn how to sew. Oh, I go on the sewing Reddit. It's like, okay, you got to do like straight stitch on this type of material. If you want to make a dress, here's the pattern for that. Just print it out.
Huh.
Do you see how terrifying the internet can be?
To someone if that was their only resource, yes.
Yeah. The internet essentially is the modern Library of Alexandria.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Alexandria. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is essentially what it is. Actually, speaking of the Library of Alexandria in the internet,
yeah,
I stumbled across something the other week. In Minecraft. In Minecraft.
Uh-huh.
Now, you are aware that there are places in the world where free information is not available through different means.
Correct. Through mainstream means. Through
mainstream means, through, be it religious, political, secular, anything.
Yes.
The exchange of free ideas and publicly available information is not available in certain regions of the globe.
Not readily available.
Not readily available. Or if you do try to seek it out, you're going to die. That type of oppression.
But you would have to try to seek it out.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, you would have to consciously make an effort
to find it.
Yes.
There is a map.
Uh-huh.
In Minecraft, because they'll, obviously Minecraft is like this, it's a kid's game, everybody,
Sure.
Everybody, playing it and all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. It, marketed as a kid's game. I don't know who these guys are, but I have a lot of respect for them. They built an online, publicly available to download Minecraft map.
Uh-huh.
Like, you download a file, put it into the Minecraft folder, boot it up, and you're on this place that someone made.
Right.
It's pretty common practice. I've done it a couple times.
Okay.
And they made a Minecraft version of the Library of Alexandria. And I don't mean per se that it is like built exactly like the library, like to scale or anything like that. Not per se.
Right.
You can write books in the game.
Uh-huh.
And these guys have physically typed out these different forbidden knowledge books for people who, if they were to seek out these books, they would probably be shot in the street.
Really?
Yeah. And that's how they got through the system.
By playing a game.
Well,
that's cool.
Exactly. Video games are the future.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. When I saw it, it blew my mind. The fact that not only does this exist, but that file is still up. Every now and again I check on it to make sure it didn't get taken down for whatever reasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, it's publicly available library with actual real world books inside of this map.
Right.
Titles and everything.
It's going to be especially valuable in the future.
Oh, it will. It is.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think I have a copy of it myself. Because I was just curious. I was like, what is forbidden information? A lot.
Yeah.
A lot to do with democracy in one section.
Well,
apparently.
it's just like the King James Bible. It was forbidden. until King Henry VIII wanted a divorce from his first wife.
So he decided to make his own church.
Well, he decided to make his own church. Plus, he made he laid the foundation for the sharing of this forbidden book.
Yeah.
To the masses. To create a scenario
basically
that would
to weaken the
that,
church.
Well, I mean, if they're
part of it,
if you're being held to rules that you don't, it's kind of like working in your workplace.
Yeah.
And they say, you to do something according to policy, and you don't have access to that policy book.
Yeah.
They keep it locked in a safe.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
They control you by something you don't have access to. And that's a universal theme. Mm-hmm. That's how people.
Yeah, they just make shit up.
Right. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. And more than likely, in those days, before the Bible was publicly printed or widespread printed, people probably did make some it up. Because I remember.
People couldn't. The average person on the street couldn't read.
They couldn't read anyway.
You had to be wealthy to even own a book.
Exactly. I just remember they had to have made some dumb shit up before that book was widely public. I think the Canterbury Tales.
It's very common to purchase that book at your local corner, but people are still making shit up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to get into that. That food coma is still trying to bite me in the ass.
Ditto.
Yeah. It's good food, but I'm just like, Christ. Well, anyway, all this serious stuff.
Yeah.
I need to get awake.
Yeah, I can lull you out.
Well, I mean, I'm not mad. It's just, we take this time out of the week from doing our stuff.
Right.
Watching charts, going to work, cooking, cleaning.
Yeah.
Taking care of the dog.
Charts.
Getting mad. Yeah, we'll get into that. We're getting mad at everything, which is what I've been doing. For the past several weeks, it has been a severe uptick in everybody and their grandma wants something from me at work. And I don't mean the usual people out in the field where they're like, hey, we're running out of these parts. And I go, okay, I will see what I can do about getting you these parts.
Well, I mean,
that's standard.
Business is, I guess, starting to pick up, right?
It is, but that's not the problem. I anticipated that.
Uh-huh.
It's everybody else they can shove off.
All right.
Yeah. Everything from, hey, I need these papers on my desk. And it's like, that's not my job. It is now your job. It's like, motherfucker. Just all this nonsense like that is just, it's like, hey, I need to borrow you for a second. Hey, can I ask you a question? It's like, get out of the warehouse. Go do something. Oh, by the way, brief side note.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's listening. I really don't. He probably isn't one of my coworkers. If you, listener, and you too, you especially, because you'll probably slap this kid around like a rag doll, and I'd let you.
Sure.
Never take fitness advice from someone who essentially has to starve themselves to stay in the shape that they've created for themselves.
That's tough.
Yeah.
To do what?
Whatever.
To pick up chicks.
No.
Win money in a contest. I mean,
No.
Well, what's on the other end of the stick?
Yeah, exactly. No. Here's the thing. Earlier I mentioned I'm doing, training, this typical bodybuilder stuff. Eating 5 times a day, mostly protein. That's kind of switched over to where I can have a little bit more carbs to hopefully drop the weight, but
sure.
Whatever. And now, granted, in the beginning, I have bitched about it because this is a new process.
Yeah.
And going from the 4 meals a day to the 5 meals a day, shocked my body, where the weight went up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I did anticipate it, and I was, loud and bitching, because, of course, it's just a new process to me.
Right.
And every time, I can't talk about fitness with this guy anymore. Like,
Your coworker?
Yeah, this coworker. He's the meathead.
Oh, yeah.
He's a nice guy, but ever since I started with this official training...
Right.
Like putting money down.
Oh, he's got an issue with everything you do?
Yes, he does.
Oh.
Let me explain.
And then I'll explain.
Yeah, and then you'll explain. I know. But here's the thing. Ever since I actually put money down and told somebody, I want you to make me look like a superhero.
Right.
Because that is exactly what I told my trainer. I want to look like a superhero.
Sure.
I want to look like the female version of Chris Evans' Captain America, because there is no other woman in the Marvel or DC universe that looks like me.
No.
They look like sticks. They look like Victoria's Secret models. I'm not that tiny.
Nope.
So, ever since that transpired, I've been keeping track of this. And at first I was like, wanted to get his advice because he's been doing it longer.
Because you had to establish that type of interaction.
Yes.
Hey, what'd you lift this week? Hey, what he kind of died on you now?
Exactly.
So now you share this with him.
Yeah.
And he loses his mind.
Yeah. No, yeah. I should have known. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. This dude, now here's the thing. This works for him. Okay?
Right.
I got nothing but respect. Because, he found something that worked for him.
Yes.
Yeah, got nothing but respect for that type of person. He does this, I don't know what lifting style he does per se, but I do know what his dietary style is, which is intermittent fasting.
Okay.
I'm not against intermittent fasting. Fasting can be good for you.
Yes.
But
intermittent fasting is not fasting.
It's not fasting.
It's just rescheduling your meals.
Exactly. And you're not eating nearly as much as you probably should.
I'm not saying pro or con.
This dude
I'm just
is
saying that's not fasting.
No, it's not. This dude.
I have fasted. That is not fasting.
Yeah, this dude is basically like 135 pounds, like max.
Right.
Like he is all muscle. There's not a shred of fat on him. There's not a shred of flab.
Right.
He is solid, but he's a small guy.
Right.
Like, I'm barely taller than him, even without shoes. Because, shoes kind of make you a couple centimeters taller.
Right.
So, his legs are small, everything. And he does intermittent fasting. And he's been that way for about a good 10, 15, 20 years, because he figured it out.
It works for him.
It works for him.
Sure.
That would not work for me.
No.
I am not eating once a day. Or twice a day, whatever. And if I was going to do that, I'm not eating a fucking salad as the one meal I get that day.
Right. Right.
Because that's not enough calories.
Not for you.
Not for me.
It'd make you look sick.
Exactly. Yeah, for him, that works, because that's just how his body operates. For me, it would basically be starving myself, and I would eventually look anemic and anorexic.
Yes.
Trying to breathe. Food coma, man. I'm trying to stay awake. So, here's the problem. What I do, I don't want to give out the name. It's not that I don't like it. It's just, not... Sponsored, not sponsored, because I have talked to the trainer about this.
Yeah.
Basically, what I do is it's weightlifting from an aerobic standpoint. Yes. Now, for the people who don't know what the fuck I just said, there are two primary types of exercise.
Yeah.
There is anaerobic, which is without using oxygen, per se. And then there's aerobic, which is with oxygen. And what I mean by that is anaerobic is typically what you do in weightlifting. Like you're just sitting there, or you're standing there, and you're just pulling weight, or you're pushing weight.
Right. Your focus is not getting the heart rate up.
Yes, you're just pulling weight. Aerobic is stuff like treadmill, running,
right.
yoga.
Your focus is getting your heart rate up.
Yeah, cardio is aerobic.
Yeah.
Because you gotta breathe when you're doing cardio.
You're doing like a cardio style of anaerobic activity.
Yes, I'm doing
the old school term is circuit training.
Yes, and exactly. What I'm doing is weightlifting via aerobic.
Yeah.
Which is fucking terrifying to some people. Apparently, I've discovered that recently in the past couple weeks. When I start talking about it, example is, it's like, hey, do alternating bicep curls. And I go, okay, I have the dumbbells. I'm doing the alternate bicep curls. Yeah. 12 reps per arm. So you pull the weight up 12 times per arm, because you got 2 of them, hopefully.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. And then when you're done, you hold the weight. So the tension is still on the muscle for 12 seconds.
Right.
That's your rest time. And then you do it again for like 2, 3, 4, 5 sets, depending, obviously.
Yeah.
That is an aerobic style of weightlifting, because that tension is still on the muscle. You don't put it down. You put it down in certain cases, like with squatting and bench presses and deadlifts, because that's a lot of weight.
Those big compound exercises.
Yeah, the really big compound exercises. But isolated moves, no, you don't put the weight down, especially if it's isolated. This is more for you, because you understand that way better.
No, people are not. I mean, it's just they're not comfortable with it because it's uncommon.
Yes.
And there's
it's
not a lot.
It's very uncommon, apparently.
I mean, you can to develop both fast and slow twitch muscle at the same time.
Precisely.
Usually, you have one extreme. You have the huge bodybuilder that develops only the fast twitch. And you have the lean and or even flabby endurance marathon runner.
Yeah. Who is just all endurance, all slow twitch.
Yeah. So yeah.
So this is basically. Yeah, this is where fast twitch muscle and slow twitch muscle shake hands. Is this weightlifting style?
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. But apparently it terrifies people.
It's very uncommon.
Very
uncommon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying I found the Holy Grail. I found the Holy Grail for me.
For you.
For me.
For you, yeah.
Because there's the reason why...
Well, once again, I mean, we go into them, and it's just like religion.
Yeah.
You don't validate his choices.
No, I don't.
You don't validate his viewpoint on what works for his life.
No. And that's what's happened.
And he's weird about it.
Yeah, and that's what's happened. I can't talk to him about fitness anymore, because I used to tell him, I was like, oh, hey, if, hey, I did this thing where my former trainer did a reverse implosion on me and it messed up my knee. And this coworker would be like, damn, that's whack, yo. This is what you do instead of that. This is what I recommend to you. And I'll go, thank you, coworker of mine. That is cool. Now, I can have a conversation with him about it.
Yeah.
Not without it turning into something ugly.
Really?
Like, well... It could get ugly.
Right, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can hear the tension in his voice.
And I can hear the tension in my voice.
And it's like,
dude.
Because your attitude is, hey, this is just something I'm trying out and I'm doing, you don't realize until that point that it's actually become a part of his identity.
Yeah. And it's about to become part of my identity, because they don't even know I'm fixing to make the big shift, if you catch my meaning.
Right.
They have no clue I'm about a couple weeks away from blowing that joint.
Yeah.
But I won't get into that just in case somebody is listening. But honest to God, it's just like, for example, me eating 5 times a day, he eats only once, or he doesn't eat at all.
Right.
And it's just, I eat in the morning before I go to work, and then I'm just using up the microwave time, like three, four times a day. And I'm telling them, like, bodybuilders, they eat 5 times a day. It's not like I'm eating a 4-course meal 5 times a day.
No.
But I'm still eating 5 times a day, stoking the fire. And this motherfucker is
eating the right combination.
Yes,
do it. Yeah.
You do. I'm eating 6 things total in my whole diet, which is fish, chicken, egg whites, rice.
Yeah, the fish and the egg whites get digested quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like less than 2 hours.
Exactly. Let's see. And then I'm also eating rice, sweet potatoes, and oatmeal. Those are the only 6 things I'm eating right now. Mm-hmm. So the fact that this motherfucker, obviously you eat your vegetables, that's freebie.
Right.
And this motherfucker is not eating a damn thing, and or he's just eating a salad, like just a salad.
Right.
Before he goes and works out, or after he goes and works out.
One of those plant-based lifters?
I don't think so. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Okay.
No, he isn't. Thank God.
You guys are in trouble.
Yeah, you guys are definitely in trouble. And we just talk about it, and he's like, eating 5 times a day, that's bad for you, because you gotta be, you gotta have a really good digestive system. You gotta be, like, pooping, like, 4, 5, 6 times a day.
Well, you're not eating a lot of mass.
No, I'm not.
You're taking the same amount of intake for 3 meals.
Yeah.
And splitting it up into 5.
Exactly.
You're not eating. Oh my God. To be a pro.
To be a pro.
You would have to take, if you ate 2 to 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
To be a pro, you would take that same large amount.
Yeah.
And split it up into 5 or 6 meals a day.
Exactly.
And I mean, excuse me, let me back up.
Yeah.
You wouldn't split it up. You would have at each 5 or 6 interval, you would have that same large meal.
Yeah. It's like eating a steak dinner every meal.
Yeah. Because you
need all of those calories.
Would need all those calories.
Yeah.
As a pro.
Yeah.
So all you're doing is taking those same 2 to 3 meals, the same amount he eats, but he eats it in a very concentrated time.
I don't.
And you're just spreading it out. That's all.
That's all I'm doing.
That's all you're doing. That's the only thing you're doing different from him.
Exactly. And he for some reason, anytime I bring it up, it's like, man, it's like, you got to get all of it out, or else it's just going to compound in your digestive tract. And I'm just like, I'm just thinking, motherfucker, I'm actually reading stuff about anatomy because of the big shift.
Right.
But I'll detail that later until it becomes solidified. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, sure.
Epic foreshadowing.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know how the digestive tract works. I mean, I did before, but I have more details now.
Kombucha.
Dude. Yeah, kombucha. And spinach. Saved my life.
Yeah.
Also oatmeal. Like, I love oatmeal. But I'm eating stuff with fiber. I'm eating stuff that will move everything out.
Just because you didn't go,
Just because I'm not eating at fucking the vegan joint or wherever the hell you're getting your food from the farmer's market.
Right.
Just because I'm eating 5 times a day doesn't mean I'm horking down an entire roasted beast. Who roast beast?
And you, as far as you, and other than once a week, you aren't consuming any climate change inducing methane producing cows, and you're eating mostly fish. And I'm
eating fish and chicken.
We're depleting the ocean. My bad. But there's plenty of chickens, I assure you.
Yeah. Like we have ad infinitum chickens.
There's so many chickens.
Honest to God, the only thing that is more infinitely growing than chickens is rabbits, but they're rabbits. Yeah, they're rabbits. What are you gonna do?
We could get that too.
Yeah, you get that too.
I heard fried rabbit's good. Anyway.
Don't talk about food. But it just drives me up a fucking
That's what I'm saying.
wall.
You understand. That's one of the more interesting things when you get into an exchange with somebody and you realize that they're and you don't discount them as the individual, but you realize that the foundation of what you are talking about is completely baseless. Why do you have a problem with this? It isn't me. It's you.
I think I figured it out. I think I know what's crazy. I think I know what the problem is.
Yeah.
Part of it, actually.
Uh-huh.
Now, granted, I have a secret weapon, but that's neither here nor there. This program, I have had results really quick.
Right.
I've had very, very fast results.
Yeah. Sure.
Like in January, I wasn't fat, but I wasn't in shape.
No.
And yesterday, I had
more confidence in what you're wearing now.
Yeah, I have more confidence in my wearing now. Yesterday, someone said she wished she looked like me.
Right.
And it's only April.
Yeah, it's just April.
I've been into this since early January, and it's only April. Come on, you know?
Right.
Dude, seriously. I think that might be part of it, is the fact that it's so, compared to what he's probably had to do, lightning quick. Mm-hmm. You know, I know you can't see from the picture of the video, but damn.
I'm telling you, it's it's how dare you, well, a lot, part of it is, yes, part of it is, I would question anyone who could challenge anyone to explain to me why part of this now uncomfortable conversation between you and this individual isn't based on this other individual's insecurity. Challenging something. That plays into a very interesting social dynamic going on right now that I believe. You know, there are these people saying that, hey, we're all equal. But then there are people on the other side of the fence that you claim are equal, but they are finding themselves, they are establishing themselves.
And then all of a sudden there's a big fucking problem.
And all of a sudden there's a problem. And that problem's coming.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of people running around saying, I support these people because they've been held down for too long. Well, when they become your equal, hey, more power to them. I hope they become your equal because I want you to take that pop in the chops that you've been asking for. You think your perspective is so on point.
You mean this whole thing of Caucasian.
Yeah.
Caucasian people need to they need to do blankety blank because their ancestors did blankety blank.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Oh, I figured that. I'm just like,
I'm just saying, once those people, you give your support and you're all for them, but then all of a sudden they're stepping on your neck.
Exactly.
See how you handle that.
Yeah, it's just like a couple years ago, people were talking this whole smack about we're killing the planet. The human race is a virus. We should all die. Yeah. We should cull ourselves in order to save the planet for the better future. And then the beer flu hit. You don't hear those people.
Anybody talking about that.
The only people still talking that jargon are the really hardcore people that you should probably stay away from anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Yeah. I think that this is going to be a repeat of that whole thing of, the Caucasian people must surrender to the non-Caucasian people. Yeah, let's, I'm not saying you're wrong, Jeff. But I want you to keep that energy once it happens.
That energy, yeah, exactly. Keep that energy. Keep that image. And you know what?
Keep that attitude.
The line starts right over there. How about you get in line first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny. It isn't. What my approach is it doesn't have anything to do with the combination of people or aspect of people. It has to do with the attitude that certain people develop over things like this.
Sure, yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't stand up. You have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're getting involved in.
You clearly have no plan for the future. If that's how you're operating.
Clearly have no plan for the future. You think that the best defense is to turn around, bend over, and grab your ankles. Well, not everybody believes that is the best reaction to certain situations.
No.
So you're first.
Yep. Because that's your first line of defense.
Right.
Is to bend over.
Is to bend over and grab your ankle. So go right ahead.
Mm-hmm. I suppose before we wrap up,
but don't try to shame the rest of us because we don't choose that as move number one.
Yeah, exactly.
Mook.
Yeah. I suppose one last thing we could probably talk about before I just fucking pass out because I'm right there.
No worries.
All right. Talk about the drop in the crypto market.
Drop in the crypto. Okay.
Because it dropped.
Well, I don't want to make it sound like a cataclysmic.
No.
It really isn't cataclysmic.
If it was cataclysmic, we would have opened with it.
Oh, yeah, we would have opened with it, absolutely.
Yeah, we would have been like, dude, sell all your shit.
No, I got out of Bitcoin around this past Tuesday only because... it's a little not just a little inflated, but you have to understand when you get into these bigger numbers, the drop has a bigger percentage. Okay, all right. If Bitcoin was trading for $1,000 a coin and it dropped down to $925, you wouldn't think that's such a big deal. But if it's sitting on 64,000 and it drops down to 56,000 or drops down to, it may drop down to even 49,000. I've heard it could. Hypothetically, it could. I don't know. I'd have to look at a chart.
But either way,
you have to understand these bigger numbers constitute bigger percentages. It's the same, and overall, based on the drop from the original 1,000 to 925, from 64,000 down to where it's headed right now, it's the same percentage. It's taking a breath.
That's exactly what I was telling my trainer the other day.
Yeah, this is what Wall Street does. Okay, big money has their money in, hypothetically, Bitcoin has their money in Bitcoin, pushing the price up, pushing the price up, pushing the price up. And then it gets into Main Street and it starts coming over the media.
Then Papa Musk is talking about it.
Papa Musk is talking about it and everybody's talking about it, which people are making big money off of.
Yeah.
You had Jim Cramer the other day and
don't you talk. Don't shut your fucking mouth. Shut your mouth.
Anyway.
Shut it.
He's talking.
Stay on topic.
I'm trying. He's talking about selling some Bitcoin and paying his house off. Well, hallelujah, you piece of mother.
Hey! Do not make me get the spray bottle.
All right, no.
I will get the cat spray bottle.
My blood pressure's getting too high.
Yeah.
So what's happening is it's just taking a breath. It's going to go back down, and that basically what you need to do if you own Bitcoin right now is to sell and get out of it.
Get the fuck out.
And wait for it to stabilize at a lower price and then get back in. Now, if you have money invested in big numbers, 5 grand, 10 grand, 15, 20, 50, 100,000, million, whatever, and you're in Bitcoin for the long term, just have a cup of coffee and calm down. I'm talking about the day traders, the short termers, the 3-weekers, the 6-weekers.
If you're just hoarding Bitcoin,
if you're just hanging up because you understand the long game, then that's fine. Yeah. Hang on to what you got.
If you're just holding on to Bitcoin, waiting for that number to finally cap, and then all of a sudden you're a quadrillionaire.
That's why you're gonna
chill.
Don't pay attention to these dumbass news articles talking about, I could not believe I read this. The Bank of Turkey, like the Bank of Turkey has a fucking thing to do with any kind of global economic thing that goes on this planet. The Bank of Turkey has banned Bitcoin, and that's why it's dropping. The media doesn't have the slightest idea about any of it, and they never did.
They're a bunch of boomers, and they don't get it.
They're a bunch of boomers. They don't get it.
They're basically just squabbling over something that doesn't exist.
So they're just saying, hey, Bitcoin's dropping. What can we... Hey, what's in the news that... Oh, hey, the Bank of Turkey Bank of Turkey banned Bitcoin.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, no one knew
and that's
that.
Gonna drop, and that's going to drop a market like $1 trillion market cap. That's garbage.
Yeah, that's garbage.
It's freaking garbage.
Now here's the thing: if say like the Bank of Great Britain were to do that
would okay. Yeah, I would pay attention to that.
Yeah, if for some reason like
so basically what's happened is driving the price of crypto across the board down at least 10 to 15%. I was looking at earlier.
Yeah.
And what is happening is that Wall Street is driving Main Street investors out of their positions so they can buy these cryptos at a, I told you, you're not going to beat. You can't beat. It would be like you are trying to beat. You try to beat Wall Street. You are trying to beat the New York Yankees on their home field during October, and the only part you don't realize is that the New York Yankees are a professional baseball team, and you guys are like 12 dudes from the local bar. I mean, you're playing their rules, their game.
Yeah, but
that's what Wall Street is doing. They're driving the price of the crypto down. They're going to get everybody's all these Main Street investors to sell out of their positions, to drop the price, and then they're going to jump on it once it stabilizes and then drive it up. And they're the ones that's going to get the profits.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, everything has got. You have to. It's 3 levels of support, and everything right now over the past 24 to 48 hours has been driven through 2 main levels of support. If it breaks that third one, then the crypto market in large is going to break into a bear market. It's currently in a bull market.
I hope it goes into a bear. That way we can actually get some work done.
Well, it's going to have to break one more level of support, and then that would have to happen this week, and we can't talk about it till next week. But,
yeah, I mean,
but right now,
keep you
as
posted.
of right now, it has broken 2 levels of support below it, and if it stabilizes prior to breaking that third level, it's going to shoot back up. And that's they're driving the price down so they can get. They can accumulate more of it.
They can buy the dips.
They can buy the dip. They're creating the dip to buy the dip.
Yeah.
That's what Wall Street does.
Hey, I'll say this about trying to beat Wall Street. We had them scared for a couple months.
Well, I think it's possible. And you obviously in time
GameStop!
You will obviously in time understand more of what's going on. And they are beatable as an individual.
Yeah, like
but as a group, I think
Wall Street Bets is mostly targeting Melvin specifically, like not Wall Street in general.
They can be beat, but to put money in your own pocket.
Yes, but replace them.
But as a group,
not really.
I don't know if that's possible.
I don't think so. Yeah, you could probably
because this is what they do.
Yeah, I get it. I think you could theoretically bottom out like a hedge fund.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just bottom out. Because here's the thing. A hedge fund, the way hedge funds work is, imagine a hedge fund in its most basic terms. A hedge fund, technically, what it is, think of a building. It's got 2 wings, a left wing and a right wing. Not political, just 2 wings, 2 places inside this building. You go into this hedge fund and you say, I have $1 million. I want you to make me more than this $1 million. And you hand it over to the front desk or whoever you're talking to.
Sure.
That person you hand that $1 million goes, okay, we have $1 million. I'm going to give $500,000 to the people who are going to bet that the price is going to go up. And I'm going to give $500,000 to the people who are going to bet the price is going to go down. That's why hedge funds are called hedge funds, because it comes from the phrase hedging your bets.
Correct.
You're betting on both sides,
yep.
And you take the profit from the winning side.
Yep.
It's basically trying to set itself up as a complete win-win scenario. And as far as Melvin Capital goes, all Wall Street Bets really did was just slaughter the department where they bet the price would go low. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They basically slaughtered that entire department.
You might have taken out an exchange.
Yeah, they probably took down that whole exchange.
Based on their position, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think Melvin Capital will go down with the ship. They could, but the fact they took out an entire branch of a very well-established hedge fund, that's still something to be remarked.
No, it is. It's something to learn.
Yeah, it's like you basically broke scales off of the dragon.
It's
that's still an achievement.
Well, here's the thing: the
black arrow found its mark.
all Wall Street is, and traders is just looking for that opportunity to make some money.
That's all it is.
Somebody found a chink in the armor.
Yes.
And attacked.
That they are looking for a patch.
So
I don't know if they'll find a patch.
All I'm saying is that's something to study.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, this is why I'm doing the meme trading and you're doing the everything else, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, my trader was asking me, like, what kind of things that you invest in? And I'm just like, how the fuck am I going to explain that I'm involved in Dogecoin and fucking weed companies?
What's that one, Baba?
Baba?
Yeah, Alibaba. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to look that up. I'm not familiar with that.
Right.
We're operating on a very specific cryptocurrency trading platform, so we don't have access to everything. Yeah.
No, but this will be our first.
I'm just saying that if cryptocurrency goes into a bear market, all you and I have to do is just wait.
Just wait.
And then we catch the next bull market.
You catch the next bullish divergent bar.
Yes. Because unfortunately from our position
Alibaba.
Yes.
Is condensing and getting ready to go into a bull run.
Ooh.
Currently the price is 238.63.
That's something we need to jump on.
I don't know. It's going sideways. I'm just going to offer that as the first Bel-E and Scratch stock market tip. It's called Baba.
Is it? Can you use the program that we use to buy it?
No.
Oh.
No.
Then what good is it?
No, it's not a coin.
Oh.
It's a stock.
Oh, well, then I gotta wait tomorrow.
Yeah, no worries.
Or the next day, whatever.
I'm not saying buy it. I'm just saying that's.
I at least want to look at it.
Sure.
Because I'm that type of jackass that's gonna be like, if the bar is just kind of if the lines are just meandering, they're just kind of not going anywhere. I'm the type of person that'll throw a little bit of coins at it and just go like poke it with a stick, like do something.
Well, I think that's the next one that's getting ready to take off.
But yeah, the problem is from our position, we can't short.
No, we can't short right now.
So unfortunately we got to sit on our hands and wait for.
We got to
wait for an emerging bull.
I don't recommend shorting, buying, and I don't recommend going long and going short until you can do it full time.
Sure, which unfortunately
because you have to be, if you're going to buy and short, you have to be on top of the market.
Yeah.
Okay, and a 40-hour week, 30 to 40-hour week job
is going to get in the way of it.
It's going to get in the way of that, yeah. I think. So right now, I promise you, we're doing exactly when you begin.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I have a bunch of trading books, and the one thing I have noticed is that a bunch of them, any of them that recommend what to do first, the consensus is to
don't short first.
Learn to buy, learn to go long, and once that is under your belt and making money,
then you can short.
Then you can short. Because, I mean, it makes sense. You have to understand how one works.
So you understand how the other
understand how the other.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Which, and we're still learning. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm like, Jesus.
That's cool. Hey, this died. So I'll need that. I'll get the... It's okay.
Well, we might as well cut it short here because the audio is going to be garbage for this episode.
No.
Yes, it will.
Miss Negative Nancy.
Dude, the Blue Yeti microphone is not that great compared to this professional one.
Don't worry. We'll look back on this one day and laugh.
Yeah, laugh at the fact I'm... Alright, I'm done. I'm going to bed.
Woo!
Probably gonna pass out for like an hour, get back up, and start cooking for my meals this week.
Carb overload.
Yeah, I don't miss it.
That's cool.
I didn't even eat that much.
No. Hey, I guess. I don't know.
I suppose. But anyway. All right. I'm about to pass out, so I'm gonna end it right here.
Cross-eyed and drooling.
Yeah. Well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Bye.